pitch is looped towards shortstop. Petroselli's back. He's got it. The Red Sox win. And he's pandemonium on the field.
Welcome to the Great American Collectibles Show, brought to you each week by the National Sports Collectors Convention. Join us every Wednesday evening at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and get the latest news from the greatest experts in the sports collectibles world. You can watch us on the Great American Collectibles Facebook page, as well as YouTube, or you can listen to us on Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, or any of your favorite podcast platforms. And now your hosts, award-winning sports collectibles author Tom Zappola and Boston radio personality Lou Blasi.
High above courtside, we are on the 18th floor of the beautiful Phoenix Towers. Tom Zappola, my good friend and partner, producer Lou Blasi. We have, I don't know, what kind of a show is this going to be, Lou?
You called it a train wreck before, so.
Well, it
it's
could be a train wreck. Okay, it could be a train wreck, but Jordon Gilroy is here. Jordon from Lelands is here, so he could be the conductor that kind of keeps us on the track. Agreed?
It's all in your
I'll try.
Jordan. Yeah.
Now, the guy in the right-hand corner, top right-hand corner, a little background on him, okay? This is my brother, Al. This is my older brother, my oldest brother, the only brother I have. And Al relocated to Sicily 15 years ago, Al. How many years ago?
Yep. So I'm going to
15
talk
years
in
ago.
Italian, okay? That's what
No,
you
you're
wanted
not
me to
talking
do.
in Italian. Al relocated to Sicily 15 years ago. Now, I want to qualify this to our beautiful viewers and listeners, and you're all out there. Al doesn't know jack about the collectibles business. However, he's a passionate Red Sox fan, and he called me up and he said, "I really want to learn the business. Can I come on the show?" So,
It's the place to be.
right? So I said, let me talk to
Lou.
Lou. So I called Lou up. He says, Al wants to know if he can come on, Lou. Do you mind? And Lou says, let him come on. So here he is.
Not how that went down, but that's okay.
Not quite. Anyway, Al's here for the hour. Al, you can jump in anytime. We're going to talk to Jordon first. A little later on in the show, Doug Keating is going to be joining us from Cardboard Promotions. Doug has a couple of big shows coming up, but I want to talk to Jordon. Jordon, you know, your boss has been on my back to get you on, so I had to get you on.
Happy to be here.
Jordon's, you guys know, Steve Erkman, Clean Sweep Auctions, bought. How long has it been now?
It was October of 2024. So,
so it's been over a year. Well over a year
Yeah.
that Clean Sweep now owns Lelands, and Jordon is the acquisition director. You must make big bucks, man. You have to make big bucks. The acquisition director for Lelands. All right, listen, you guys don't have an active auction going right now, but what kind of a year have you had up to this date?
Well, it's been quick. I mean, we are almost in March, and the hobby's not stopping. And we have an auction in a month, and I'm sure it'll feel like tomorrow once we get there on March 29th.
Now, is this your spring auction? It's called.
Yeah, the Spring Classic.
Can you throw a couple of tidbits out as what's coming in?
Yeah, we just got a mantle bat. We have 57 Topps PSA graded pack that is hobby fresh. We just got 1914 Boston Braves ring.
Ooh. Very cool.
Some cut autographs, Jackie Robinson, Walter Johnson, Honus Wagner, some cards, autographs, a little bit of everything.
All right, give us some insights on what the director of acquisition is doing the month before the auction.
Going to bachelor parties.
Just getting as much stuff as we possibly can. It's not rocket science. It's emails, it's calls. It could do everything on a computer or a phone. So I could be in Guam getting $1 million consignment. So there's really no limit to how things can be done.
Do you initiate those phone calls, or are you fielding phone calls, or a mixture of both?
A mixture of both. Fair balance of both. Yeah.
I've been talking. I've been on my brother Al, and Al, you can chime in here. But for the last 5 years, during World War II, the Allies we're in Sicily for the whole time. And I know for a fact that Joe DiMaggio spent a lot of time in Sicily as well as a lot of other ball players. As a matter of fact, I think, and now correct me if I'm wrong, didn't they play ball? Didn't they have some teams out there that they played? So I've asked Al to get on a mission to look at, I mean, there's no baseball collectors in Sicily. So I've asked him to scour the area, every antique shop, every flea market, to come up with a couple of really cool vintage baseball cards. Al, how many have you come up with so far?
First of all, Joe DiMaggio was actually born in Sicily at a place called, beautiful place that we've been to many times, Isola della Femmina is where he was born. And as a matter of fact, they even have a Joe DiMaggio museum there, believe it or not, which I've gone to. It's small, but to go into a little town in Sicily, a little town in Sicily, and to see a Joe DiMaggio museum, that's something else.
So do you ever see any, like in these flea markets or antique shops? Seriously, you never see any memorabilia, American baseball?
Yeah, they have, first of all, they have baseball in Italy. That's number one. As a matter of fact, the team went about 20 miles away. It happens to be the Italian national champion. Believe it or not, they call the Paterno Red Sox. And I'll tell you what, you talk about trademarks. They look like the Boston Red Sox. The same logos, the same helmet, hats, the same lettering, etc. And they have a very good team. And they bring in imports from the United States. Usually it's Italian kids that are college kids and so forth. They play on the team. I would say that it's probably like the Cape Cod League. You know, that's good. That league. It's a good brand of baseball. And they have a pretty good Italian national team too. So, but it's buried in Sicily. It's buried in Italy, of course. You've got
soccer. Hey, Jordan, I want
soccer, but you have so many other sports over here north of Rome. Skiing. Look at what they did in the Olympics now. Yeah. So there's a lot. But for your card, let me just answer your card thing. I doubt that there is one card in all of Sicily. I'm talking not even one, because I've been to 50, not only flea markets, I've been to antique markets. Now, if you want Nazi helmets, mortars, if you want sports stickers, bust of freaking Mussolini, you come to the right guy. But they just don't have American vintage baseball cards here.
All right. Hey, Jordan, I wanted to ask you, this thing popped out yesterday, day before, I'm sure you know. We all watched the hockey game on Sunday. It was absolutely spectacular. And the next day, it was a panini of Topps. Topps came out with a Jack Hughes 1-of-1 signed. I mean, you got to be freaking kidding me. You got to be kidding me.
That had to happen.
Right?
It's like, after any event, there's always going to be a 1-of-1 Topps Now autograph card of it. It's genius on their part.
Talk about marketing. So what is that card in your estimation? You've been in this hobby for a long time. What is the value of that card going to be if you had to venture a guess? Is it a $10,000 card or is it a $500,000 card?
I would say 6 figures. So if it's closer to $10 or $500,000, I'd probably think it'd be closer to $500,000. If the hype still continues, because it's a huge moment. Everyone in the entire world was watching, and it was such a big deal. And he's not like Jack Hughes is a superstar. It's not like he's one of the lower name guys that just happened to get the goal. It's like, if you're to pick one player to get the goal, it's Jack Hughes. So it's the best possible thing.
What about hockey memorabilia? Is that going to spike?
It has on eBay, at least the last couple of days. But I think hockey is like so undervalued compared to baseball, basketball, and football that I hope this lights a fire under the hockey's value, because it's well deserved.
And I've always wondered if hockey has the history like baseball does. It goes back quite a ways. And I don't know if the card printing goes back as far as baseball and things like that, but it shares with baseball, unlike the NFL and the NBA, that type of history and that type of vintage possibility.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of material, a lot of memorabilia. We've sold hockey items that span to the early 20th century, so they do have a long and rich history.
Interesting. You know, I'm going to throw this out. Louis, you're a hockey guy. I know that. You've been a hockey guy for years. So, I'm watching that game, and I'm saying there is such passion, with the American fans, with the Canadian fans, with the Norwegian fans, as I'm watching all of these games on the Olympics. Why isn't the NHL restructured by countries rather than teams? Is there a reason for that where it would be the United States has a team comprised of United States players? Is that like way too far-fetched?
No, but I think it would wane in its emphasis after a period of time. It's like, remember when Major League Baseball went to the interleague play, and for a while everyone was very excited about the Red Sox and Braves and all the matchups that came along, Yankees and Mets and things like that. It's kind of gone into antiquity now because no one cares. You're playing each other all the time. Look at what we've seen in the last how many years now? We've seen the WBC, the Four Nations, the Olympics. When you get these athletes playing for their nations, when they're playing for their nations, it's international and not playing for a paycheck. It is something special, especially hockey. That's what makes the NHL playoffs so great. They're playing to get the name on the cup. They're not playing for a check. And that's when the game gets exceptionally good. Again, the WBC, the Four Nations, this last tournament in the Olympics, it's been spectacular sports, and I can't wait for the WBC in a month.
All right. Jordon, what are your thoughts?
Oh, can I say one thing?
Sure.
Say what you want, because
do me a favor. Look into the camera, would you?
Okay, I am.
Thank you.
Say what you want, though. Being here in Italy, it was extensively covered on the TV every single solitary night. But you have to tip your hat to the Italians because they did a great job on this Olympic. People have been raving about it, from all the nations in the European Union, what a great job it is. And Mike, and the snow was good. Everything was good. Why isn't the Olympic Winter Games here more often? I mean, it's a perfect setting over here. It's Italy, for heaven's sakes. Okay. You've got the cream of the European athletes. Every one of them was here.
Yeah.
From all over the 29 EU states. They were here. They were well attended, right? This is as opposed to the Super Bowl in San Francisco, okay, which was a disaster city as far as I can see. So, I'm making a call today for two things. Number one, Italy having that. And number two, as far as vintage baseball cards go, I want to start a national scalar championship.
Well, we're going to talk about that after the break, after Jordon departs. We're going to, because I have a whole theory about that also. For those of you that don't, some people call it, well, actually, they're two different things: card flipping and scalers.
Okay.
In Boston, we used to play scalers, and we're going to talk about that in the second half because I am going to talk to Joe Drellick about a scalar competition at the National. We're gonna see if we can hammer that in. Hey, Jordon, your staff, how many at Lelands?
I would say about, at any given time, there'll be about 10 people in the office.
You got 10, and Laura is still there, right?
Yes, she works from Long Island.
Oh, she does. She works from Long Island. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about Josh Evans for a sec. Josh, when Lou produced our show at the very beginning, Josh was on every other week. He used to come on the show. He used to alternate with Kenny Golden. So he'd come on one week, and then Golden would come on one week. And Josh was absolutely hysterical, Lou. Remember? He would sing. He would. I mean, you didn't know what was going to come out of his mouth. We did I don't know, probably 6 months or a year ago. We just took some votes about the Mount Rushmore of the hobby industry over the entire lifespan. And Josh's name was certainly in the conversation of the top 4 or 5. What did he mean to you as a mentor? I mean, how long did you work for Josh?
I think it was about 5 years. Yeah, from 2015 to 2020.
Tell us about him.
Yeah. Well, the first couple years were pretty much me on Long Island, him in New Jersey. So it was emails and calls, and he would come to the office every once in a while. But after that, I was in New Jersey with him for a few years, and he'd be in every day, and his mom would pop in. They would, teach us about sports and pop culture and everything in between. And, he just loved being around and being involved. And he had so much knowledge from doing it for 30 plus years. And then when Mike came in, it was even better. So there was just so much knowledge that I soaked in for the couple of years.
I was going to say that you could not have gotten a better education with those two guys. Seriously, man, you were like taught by the two of the greatest professors in the history of the hobby, And I miss Mike. I talk to Mike a lot. We talk periodically, maybe a couple of times a month. Mike is contributing. I should tell you, I don't have the list in front of me, but he's put. I went to Mike because I said, you've had 100 years experience at Lelands, so I need the 3 or 4 most iconic pieces that have ever come through your hands at Lelands. And he gave me a list, and I don't have it in front of me, so I don't remember, but each one has a great backstory to it. And, that's what the book is going to be about. I have another question for you, Jordon, because you're a young guy, you're a young collector. I know you collect for the love of it, but I'm sure you also collect for a little investing and all of that stuff. But Panini is really going to great lengths now to sign high school players. They're signing up to contracts that are like crazy, especially in football. What are your thoughts on that? Is that gonna hurt the players? Is it gonna hurt the hobby? The kid signs, he goes to college, tears an ACL, and he's done. What's going to happen with all of that?
It'll just start it'll be great for the kids. They'll make money in high school signing autographs. That's everyone's dream. And, people should obviously go into it expecting it to take years for that, if they do it for investment purposes, for that to come into fruition or go up. But it's also, you begin the speculation a couple years earlier. There's a high school player that gets drafted by a team, that's when it starts. But if it could start years earlier, then people will definitely buy high school player cards and stash them away for 3, 4, 5 years and just hope for the best. So
will they become relevant in the overall market? Because we've seen college football. We know a lot of college football players. We can anticipate who are going to be NFL players going forward, but it hasn't really made an impact, has it? Can you go back to high school and make those cards worthwhile at all?
Only one I can think of is Bryce Harper. That's really it. He was huge in high school. Now, every kid in the world seems to throw 95 miles an hour. Yeah. So it's just, I don't know how they'll be able to tell which ones are going to be the best, but it just depends on how expensive the cards are. If they're like $100 an autograph, people might just buy 20 or 30 different people and just see what happens.
But let's go back to Bryce Harper and assuming he had a high school card, right? And he goes into the majors and becomes Bryce Harper. Would the rookie card would still be the card, right? Not the high school. That's a good
question. Very good question, Louis.
Yeah, the rookie card would still be that one. He did have a bunch of USA cards, and those are worth decent money, but they're nothing compared to his, Bowman Chrome rookie autograph. That's like always the number one card of a baseball prospect.
Interesting. We're chatting with Jordon Gilroy from Lelands. Jordon, this past week, Golden Auctions sold a Pikachu Illustrator Pokemon card for $16.5 million. I can't wrap my arms around that, man. Can you help me out here?
I guess it's the same thing. Like if you're going to talk to a Pokemon collector about someone spending $12 million on a Michael Jordan card, and, people just collect what they like. And this card had a huge backstory of provenance and history of Logan wearing it at WrestleMania and on the show that they have and everything else. So, it was a great marketing, plan up until the auction. Then they had the live break that night. It was just smart. But overall value for the card, I mean, in 5 years, it could be 20, 30, 40, $50 million. We could look back and say, oh, wow, we should have placed a bid on that.
So
Hey, one
we've
last. Go ahead.
So
Go ahead,
we've watched in baseball cards that the vintage and height of the market sometimes shift a little bit based on nostalgia. When people of a certain age become of age and they have money to spend, it'll be on the players that they grew up with and they like to an extent. Of course, the valuable cards will also be valuable cards. With Pokemon, is this a matter of people who are Pokemon fans just coming of age to have that kind of money to spend?
I mean, I would say, when I grew up, I think I was a couple years after Pokemon. I started with like Yu-Gi-Oh and everything, but that was pretty much our version of, let's say, the 1950s children getting, 52 Topps cards.
Yep.
That was what we played with and kept and collected and traded. So yeah, I mean, nostalgia does have a really big role in it.
I mean, I understand kids coming in with $1,500 or $2,000 to buy Pokemon cards at card shows. I understand that to an extent, but what Pokemon fan has $16 million to spend?
There are a lot of wealthy individuals out there, and they do like to spend a lot of money on stuff that they like. And hey, if I had the money, I mean, I don't know if I would have been on that, but I would have be buying millions of dollars worth of sports cards every day.
Right. Before I let you go, I know you're pressed for time. You have another engagement or something. You have to actually work today. I read an article that was a little disturbing regarding vintage Ty Cobb cards and memorabilia. I don't know if you've read it, but that guy's name was Al Stump, I believe, and he wrote the autobiography of Ty Cobb, and Cobb worked with him. Evidently, some investigation is beginning to show that there's a ton of fake Cobb memorabilia out there that was distributed by Al Stump, and some cards. Is this going to affect, in your opinion, I don't know if you've heard the story, Jordon, but is it going to affect Ty Cobb cards and memorabilia overall?
I'm sure it will, depending on how, large the story gets blown up. I mean, Ty Cobb signatures, we've been seeing a lot of forgeries the last couple of years, not more than the usual, but it's weird. Like with Ruth and Gehrig and all those other guys from that time period, you could pretty much tell, like, spot on just from looking at it.
Right.
Cobb's forgeries are much harder to spot. I've been stumped a few times, and when PSA comes into our office, they say this is no good, this is from this forger. I'm like, oh wow, that's surprising. But you don't see like a specific forger for Ruth and Gehrig and all those other guys.
Well, Ruth, I mean, Ruth caused a lot of his own problem too, because he had clubhouse guys signing for him, and Mantle did the same thing. I mean, so there was a bunch of stuff out there that they're kind of responsible for. But hey, I guess it is what it is. All right, so when is your next auction?
Opens March 29th.
March 29th. We're going to get you on while it's running, get you going. I talked to Steve. I want to do a full hour show with both you and Steve Verkman, so we can talk about the whole company, the directions. I mean, you guys really do not step on each other's feet. I mean, you both have kind of niche places in the hobby, but do you exchange cards or memorabilia sometimes when Steve says someone consigns to Clean Sweep and then Clean Sweep will say, something, this is better suited for Lelands? Do you guys do that?
Yeah, we do that sometimes. Yeah, there's a fair balance of it.
Good. Very cool. All right, kiddo. Thanks for coming on, man. You're tough to get a hold of, but we finally got a hold of you.
No, I like being on, so I'm down to do this more.
All right. Take care. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to take a break now. Al's going to be with us. Al, I want you to look at me, Al. Look in the camera, Al. Right in the camera. Are you looking?
Yeah.
Okay. Make sure you look in the camera. You're looking at Mount Etna. You're looking at the Mediterranean Ocean.
Oh, yeah.
Look in the camera.
It's called the Ionian Sea.
Whatever it's called. We're going to take a quick break.
As
Hang in there.
opposed to looking at you.
We're going to be all over the place. We'll be right back.
I'm Rebecca Curry, a two-time child cancer survivor, recipient, and advocate for Lucy's Love Bus. The mission of Lucy's Love Bus, 501c3 nonprofit, is to provide joy, comfort, and quality of life for the entire family of children with cancer. Since 2006, they have delivered love and comfort to over 3,000 children with cancer and their family members across New England. The dream of Lucy Grogan, an 11-year-old cancer patient, was to help kids with cancer who are suffering right now, before there is a cure, by offering free, integrative therapies like art, music, horseback riding, and many other activities. Unfortunately, Lucy passed away, but her dream lives on, and today Lucy's Love Bus is thriving.
I'm Red Sox Hall of Famer Rico Petrocelli. I hope that you'll consider supporting Lucy's Love Bus and all of those children who have been stricken by cancer. The Great American Collectibles Show is partnering with Lucy's Love Bus to help these kids. Let's continue Lucy's dream. Please go to lucyslovebus.org for more information.
Since 1996, Brian Drent and the staff at Denver's Mile High Card Company have led the charge in the collectibles hobby. Mile High is a full-service dealer specializing in buying and selling cards and offers a competitive consignment program for all collectors. Whether it be their computerized want list service, appraisals, or auction services, Mile High has it all. If you've been searching for a company with a selection of high-grade vintage 1888 to 1970 baseball cards and memorabilia that shares your passion, aim high, Mile High. Go to milehighcardco.com or call 303-840-2784 for more information.
This is Brian Drent, president of Mile High Card Company. Is your sports card and memorabilia collection properly insured? For easily replaced personal property, homeowners insurance is all most people need. But for prized possessions that you may have spent a lifetime collecting, it doesn't go nearly far enough. Collectibles Insurance Services has been insuring for over 50 years. They offer a full range of protection and a $0 deductible at an affordable rate with no appraisals required. I know because they insure my collection. If you have a minute, go to collectinsure.com and learn more about insuring your personal card or memorabilia collection.
Hi, this is Dan from Memory Lane Auctions, here to remind you that the renowned Memory Lane Collectibles Company has served as a beacon of light to the collecting community for the past several decades. Indeed, folks, it has been our utmost privilege and pleasure to provide the most enthusiastic collectors with an abundance of the finest sports cards and memorabilia for America's most coveted sports personalities via our world-class auctions. Whether you choose either a private sale transaction or the auction route, Memory Lane cordially invites you to reach out to us to maximize the value of your prized possessions. Also, it is not just sales that we pride ourselves on being the best of the rest, because if you are seeking a particular keepsake for your esteemed gathering, we will be relentless in our quest to find that special piece to fulfill your collecting dreams. So no time to wait. Reach out to us today for the purposes of capitalizing on our unparalleled marketing capabilities. Simply pick up the phone and dial 877-606-5263. That's 877-606-LANE, or find us on the World Wide Web at www.memorylaneinc.com. Now is the time for your valued consignment to ultimately become another one of Memory Lane's record-setting prices.
How would you like to own the bat that was used by your favorite player when he hit that towering home run or game-winning base hit? Well, look no further than JT Sports, specializing in the sale and authentication of professional game-used bats. As the official authenticators of professional model game-used bats for PSA DNA, JT Sports will guarantee the authenticity of any bat purchased from them. JT Sports also buys and sells game-worn uniforms, gloves, and baseball equipment. The unique quality of the collectible is what JT Sports is all about. Give them a call at 609-487-8003 or check them out at GameUseBats.com.
Okay, we are back. Big Al Zapp is in the. Al, you look good, Al. You look good.
Tom, I have a question before you start.
Yeah.
All right. This one-on-one stuff, like you were just talking about that high school kid.
I have a
What?
One of one.
Yeah, one of one, right?
Yep.
I think I have a rare one-on-one. I wanted to discuss it with you
One of
before.
one.
One of one. I have a picture of. Listen to this. You know Steve Lane,
I do.
the famous Mickey Mantle collector, has probably the largest. He wrote a book about
I think he's
Mantle.
watching right now.
Okay, good. Well,
I
in
see.
any case, I have a rare one-on-one
One of
photo.
one now. One of one.
One of one photo of Steve Lane wearing a Red Sox hat.
Now that is
No, seriously, I do. Matter of fact, I have a
How
2-minute
much
video.
alcohol did it take for that to happen?
I was going to say
I
that's
saw the
great.
video. It took some alcohol for that to happen.
Yeah,
So-
He and I swapped hats. He was over here in Sicily on a tour with my touring company and Esther's touring company.
And we're going to talk about that, by the way. He
well,
sent
it's
me a
okay.
text, Al. He sent me a text saying he recently got a report from the Red Sox spring training camp, and it's been calculated that they're already mathematically eliminated from the playoffs.
Steve
anyway.
got the finest sense of humor. I
he's a
love
great
that guy. I'm telling you,
guy,
and I
funny
hope he
guy.
comes back. Huh?
He's a funny
He's
guy.
just a great, and he's a wealth of knowledge.
Very successful, very bright guy.
Wait a
I
second.
actually enjoyed
Video-
his book very, 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 very much. It's a good.
Yeah,
It brought
it's
me
good.
back in time. It
The
really
video
did.
you sent us didn't answer one important question. Did you put the Yankees hat on?
He did.
Yes, I did. It burned my forehead, by the way.
All right, listen,
I had
it's
like
time
a
for
ring
another.
around it after I took it off. It was unbelievable.
All right, it's time for another Crackerjack moment brought to us by our good friend Paul Borges and PB Collectibles. Go to pbcollectibles.com for that special vintage card at an amazing price. This week, we're going to talk about a guy that I was always one of my favorites, Gabby Kravitz. The first player from San Diego area to make it to the major leagues, Clifford Carlton Gabby Kravitz, was called Cactus by teammates because of his Western roots. The origin of the name Gabby is even more interesting. While playing in the Pacific Coast League, Kravitz reportedly crunched the ball with such power that he struck and killed a seagull. Fans in attendance began screaming gaviota, the Spanish word for seagull, and Carlton soon became known as Gabby. The son of the first mayor of Escondido, California, Gabby would also blaze a unique trail. During baseball's dead ball era, Kravitz stood alone at the top as a top power hitter in the National League between 1912 and 1919. He led the National League in home runs 6 times during that period and frequently approached or surpassed 500 in slugging. In 1915, as a member of the Phillies, Kravitz slammed 24 dingers, a new 20th century single-season home run record, because keep in mind, it was the dead ball era. He also led the league in runs, RBI, OPB, OPS, you name it, he did it. The Phillies won their first pennant in 1915, led by Kravitz and 31 game winner Pete Alexander. Also an excellent outfielder, Kravitz registered 161 assists between 1912 and 1918. His last great season, 1919, saw Kravitz bash league-leading 12 homers and slugged. Hey, Al, we're trying to read here, please. Thank you. And slugged 640 at the age of 38. He was an on-base machine that year with a 341 average. Before pursuing baseball, Kravitz held jobs as a fumigator and telegraph operator. He upgraded his post-baseball profession, becoming a judge in Laguna Beach, California. Kravitz's major league career home run record of 119 was obliterated by Ruth in 1921. But Cactus is still recognized as the best power hitter of the time, the dead ball era. Just go ask that seagull.
All right, we're doing these Crackerjack collection, Crackerjack moments, because we found a stash of Crackerjack books in the warehouse, and there are very few remaining. So if you want to move, you got to move quickly. And you need to go to tomzappalamedia.com/Crackerjack collection to order your copy of the book, The Crackerjack Collection, Baseball's Prized Players. This great book will give you a glimpse into the personal and professional lives of the players in this iconic collection. That's the Crackerjack Collection, on sale now at 30% off the regular price for these few remaining books. TomZappalaMedia.com/Crackerjack Collection.
In a couple of minutes, by the way, towards the end of the show, we're going to bring in our good friend Doug Keating from Cardboard Promotions. But right now, we're going to chat with Big Al. Al, before we get into talking about scalers and baseball and the Red Sox, why don't you tell us about your business? You have a very successful business. You've been in Italy now for 15 years. You're an attorney. You have a hugely popular podcast, and you have a great business. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it? You have 5 seconds.
Okay, youmeandsicily.com. You can learn all about us. But Esther and myself have a touring company. I happen to be a lawyer, so I practice law, international law between the United States and the European Union. And I do a whole bunch of other stuff too. We have a YouTube channel. We have huge Facebook. We had 11 million views last month, a new record over there. For us, anyways. I know that's not that much, but for us, it's like, wow, 11 million people. Because there are a lot of
for anybody, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah. To say Americans make the largest category of Italians in the United States. So a lot of them want to come back, just like the baseball cards, and discover their roots, so to speak. So we have a touring company. We do tours. We start now in March, and we go right through New Year's Eve. And for you guys over there that just stole a good card, come for New Year's Eve in Taormina. It's just unbelievable. It'll be a lifetime experience. So that's all I want to say. I didn't come
Well,
here
you
to
may be
toot my
doing
horn.
something next year. Why don't you tell our viewers potentially what you may be doing with our good partner and friend, Rico Petroselli?
Tommy and I and Rico are thinking about having a kind of like a baseball type thing here in 2027, where we will, hosted by Tommy, myself, and Rico. And I'm going to be working on trying to get Rico to go to Paterno and maybe do a little batting exhibition or a talk with the ball players over there too. Like I said, baseball is a good sport in Italy. It's not a laggard sport. It's a growing sport. So there is a lot of interest in American baseball. Unfortunately, the 500-pound gorilla is in fact soccer. I mean, Are you kidding me? When any newspaper that you buy in Sicily or Italy, after the front page, the first 3 or 4 pages are reports on what games went on, and it's crazy. But everybody in Sicily is a junkie for soccer.
What is the big soccer team in Sicily? What is the one big
Inter, Milan.
Milan.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. You either love them or hate them. People.
How do they compare with Real Madrid or Barcelona and those
They're right
teams?
up there. Right up there. Yeah, I mean, right up. I mean, they pay tens of millions of dollars for their soccer players, Tom. It's not chump change. Chump change. As a matter of fact, the Red Sox, the owner, John Henry, he's got a team in Liverpool, England, that's won the Premier League championship a couple of times.
Did he sell that, Lou, or is he
selling
it?
He sold the Penguins. He didn't sell that.
Oh, he sold the Penguins. Okay.
Or he's in the process.
No, and basically that was what the rub was. Yeah, that was what the rub was when he had the third baseman over there and all these big salaries, because he's paying these guys over here huge money too.
He pays them. He pays for Liverpool. He doesn't pay for the Red Sox, but he pays for Liverpool.
Well, that's what people say. I don't know if that's true or not, but hey, go Red Sox. That's what I want to say. But anyways, you guys were talking about the Pokemon card and so forth. Isn't that a good way though to get the young involved in the hobby?
It is.
I mean, I'm talking about for cards for youngsters, kids.
Yeah.
So when they get to be of age, like you and I, Tommy, right? We were freaking junkies back then with our baseball collections. We used to go to the store for a nickel or a dime and buy a set of cards with the bubble gum inside it that had all our favorites. I never had a basketball card. Heck, I don't even know if they were made back then in the late 50s.
No, actually, there was a time when those weren't in existence. There was a little gap there, but baseball and football. I mean, we collected football cards too, but more baseball than football. But to answer your question now with the Pokemon stuff, the answer to your question is yes. It has opened up, and Pokemon has been around for years, but it seems to, in the last probably 2 years, exploded. And you go to these card shows now, and they have tons of Pokemon dealers, and it's brought in a whole new audience. Now, are some of those people going to gravitate to sports? We have no idea. We have no idea. But I can tell you one thing. There are people that are vintage card and modern card baseball collectors and basketball collectors that some of them have gravitated to Pokemon, which is very interesting. And a lot of them, the younger collectors, quite frankly, they're doing it for investment purposes because some of the card flipping is just off the charts. Like we just talked about, one just sold for 16 million. But we were talking about the game of scalers, and I really I'm going to try to crusade this with the guys at the National, because I think that a scalar competition. Now, for those of you that don't know what scalers are, we can kind of walk you through it, because card flipping is totally different. But when we were kids, and scalers always huge in New England, especially in the Boston area, where you would have a blank wall, and I know a lot of people in other states played it. You'd have a blank wall, and you'd probably stand 10 or 15 feet from the wall, and you'd have your cards. And you would scale a card against the wall, and then your opponent would scale a card, and he would try to what they called kiss. He would try to get his card on top of your card. If he got his card on top of your card, then he won both cards. So sometimes there'd be 10 or 15 cards out there, everybody's missing, and then someone would hit it, and you would get the entire batch you would own. So it was a competition. If you threw your card against the wall and it leaned, your opponent had 3 shots to knock the leanie down. If he missed after the 3rd shot, you would get the card plus the other 3. Pretty much the way it worked. Al, now you had some good cards that you absolutely trashed, correct?
Well, listen, when you're 12 years old, 10 years old, 11 years old, and the hobby that you guys are talking about today, which is, through the universe, was in its nascent form back then. So
Correct.
I don't think anybody I knew collected cards to buy and to make profit on. They collected cards because they wanted to have the favorite Red Sox team or the Yankee team or whatever team it is that they were. But I never scaled a Ted Williams. I scaled all the guys that stunk. I mean, basically, that was the long and the short of it. If you had a 220,
well, actually, that's a good point. You're making a very good point, because you're right. I was a big Yaz guy. You were a Ted Williams guy. We used to keep, when we were playing that game, we used to keep our favorites off to the side, and so we would be flipping, scaling commons, as they call. But some of our good friends who thought they were Wayne Peters, for instance, who thought he was a great scaler, he used to bring in his heavyweights, and I used to kick his ass. So I mean, it was okay, You know
what happened to him after you used the same bunch of cards? I mean, you and I had at least 500 or 600 cards in our toolbox, because I remember we had a metal box that you had your cards, I had my cards in them. But after you throw them up against the wall, of course, the corners, they curl up a little bit. So we still had a use for those things. We didn't pitch them away, throw them away. We used to put them on our bikes, on the spokes of our bikes, and it would sound like a motor. You remember that, Tom?
Well, I'll tell you a funny story, because Rico still bitches to this day about the 52 mantle that he had in his bike spokes.
Thank God.
You're kidding.
I mean, who knew? Who knew?
Look, if you didn't have streamers on your handlebars with a bike, number one, if you didn't have a light was like, come on, in the front, for nighttime. And if you didn't have an old scaler on the back sounding like a car, you just weren't with it as a 12-year-old.
Louis, did you collect as a kid?
I collected a little bit as a kid. You know how people have specific collections. I used to collect World Series cards. I tried to put together all the World Series cards.
Yeah, that's called set building. A lot of people did that. Red Sox, Yankees, first baseman, Pete Rose. That's the one card, Al, that I distinctly remember having was a Pete Rose rookie card. I remember that.
Well, I've told this story a number of times on the show because we used to do the show on PSA, and PSA on the front page of the site always had this Lou Alcindor rookie card that was worth whatever the hell it was worth.
Yeah.
And I had a dozen of them, and just playing tinfoil basketball on the floor with them. It was like,
Yeah.
I could retire it now. They just kept one of them.
My best scaler, listen to this, okay? And I can still remember this too, all right? Was a Red Sox guy who they picked up in a trade from the Mets. His name was Roman Majias. He was a center fielder.
I remember him, sure.
After they got rid of, I think Jimmy Pearsall was there, and they got rid of him, so they made a trade. They got this guy, and this guy was like a 285 hitter.
Yeah, he was a good ball player, actually.
Something like that, right? But he couldn't hit the side of a barn for the Red Sox, right? I mean, he was like a 150, 170 hitter. He was in a perpetual slump. So he was my major scale. I wanted to get rid of him.
Think about this. Up until when we were kids, up until 1967, those Red Sox teams were god awful. They were absolutely awful. From 61 on, after Williams retired, and even when he retired, they weren't too good at the end of his career. But I think Yaz's rookie season was 61. And from that point up until 67, when Red Sox Nation was born with the Impossible Dream Team, those teams were god awful. I mean, the year.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Lou. You may know this, and I know I've talked about it with Rico. I believe the year before they won the 67 pennant, they lost 100 games. The 1966 team. I mean, they were absolutely horrible.
Well, that was the era of the manager was named Pinky Higgins.
Yes.
Right. And he was a good old boy, and he was just putting out a team over there. But I could distinctly remember, Tom, and I don't know if you can remember, not only did I have Joe DiMaggio's card, I had Dom DiMaggio's card, his brother, who was a pretty fair center fielder for the Red Sox in the Ted Williams era. Sure. I had a Johnny Pesky. That was another good Frank Malzone. I mean, some of these, and so here's the point that I was making about scalers. I got into the Red Sox and into baseball heavily because of
your
my
baseball
love.
Cards.
Yeah. So there might be kids out there today, it'd be a new generation of people into the hobby. I mean, I don't understand why we don't collect, for example, or people don't collect all these hitters from Japan. Where these?
Well, they do. They do. I mean,
they do. I mean, some of those guys.
Not in the United States, they do. Well, in the United States, they don't. In Japan, they do. PSA just opened up an entire facility in Japan.
Well, those people are worse fanatics than the Americans are for baseball.
And they're very good players. All right, listen, we're going to take a quick break. Actually, Louis, before we take a quick break, why don't you tell our viewers and listeners about our friends in Philadelphia?
Well, the East Coast Sports Marketing, along with eBay, are pleased to present the Philadelphia Sports Collectors Show, the Philly Show, from Friday, March 6th to Sunday, March 8th, held at the Greater Philadelphia Expo Center Halls A and B and 100 Station Ave. That's in Oaks, Pennsylvania. The Philly Show is bigger and better than ever. Shop over 1,000 tables from 300 of your favorite hobby dealers from across the country, displaying sports cards and collectibles from the 1800s to the present day. Visit the Pokemon TCG section of over 100 tables. Major sports auction houses and third-party grading and authentication companies are on hand to assist your collecting needs. The Philly Show is family-friendly, and all kids under 10 get in for free. Military gets in for 50% off. Autograph guests include 10-plus baseball Hall of Famers, including Mike Piazza, Chipper Jones, Ozzie Smith, Steve Carlton, 10-plus football Hall of Famers like Ray Lewis, Earl Campbell, Jack Ham, Eagles legends Brian Dawkins, Randall Cunningham, and Vince Papale, and many more. For more information, go to thephillyshow.com. Remember, since 1975, the Philly Show is where it all started.
All right, listen, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Doug is going to join us, talk about some of the Boston shows that are coming up. Al's going to be with us right till the end, so stick around, hang up. Al, put the damn cigar out. Why don't you just eat it? It's
not
down to
a
about
cigar.
1 inch.
It's a candy chocolate cigar. I'm chewing it.
Oh, yeah, okay. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
I'm Rebecca Curry, a two-time child cancer survivor, recipient, and advocate for Lucy's Love Bus. The mission of Lucy's Love Bus, 501c3 nonprofit, is to provide joy, comfort, and quality of life for the entire family of children with cancer. Since 2006, they have delivered love and comfort to over 3,000 children with cancer and their family members across New England. The dream of Lucy Grogan, an 11-year-old cancer patient, was to help kids with cancer who are suffering right now, before there is a cure, by offering free, integrative therapies like art, music, horseback riding, and many other activities. Unfortunately, Lucy passed away, but her dream lives on, and today Lucy's Love Bus is thriving.
I'm Red Sox Hall of Famer Rico Petrocelli. I hope that you'll consider supporting Lucy's Love Bus and all of those children who have been stricken by cancer. The Great American Collectibles Show is partnering with Lucy's Love Bus to help these kids. Let's continue Lucy's dream. Please go to lucyslovebus.org for more information.
Pristine Auction is a family-owned and operated online auction specializing in autographed memorabilia, sports cards, coins, art, and collectibles. Since their founding in 2010, they've grown to 2 facilities in Phoenix, Arizona, totaling over 60,000 square feet. Jared Cavalier and an incredible staff of over 150 team members serve a very large customer base and enjoy every minute of it. By working with leading authentication companies, Pristine ensures all items are 100% authentic. In addition, third-party authenticators regularly travel to Pristine Auction to provide authentication services on site. Pristine Auction strives to operate its business in a way that's honoring to God, their families, and their customers. With a strong focus on speed, quality, and premier customer service, their mission is to be the leading online auction for every level of collector and fan. Pristine also works for Hope Sports and Identity Hoops International, traveling to Mexico to build houses for the less fortunate. Pristine Auction offers several online auction formats with thousands of auctions ending each day. For more information, go to pristineauction.com. That's Pristine Auction, the best in the business.
If you're a discerning collector interested in owning the most important pieces in the hobby, look no further than Lelands Auctions. The original sports auction and appraisal house, Lelands was established in 1985 by legendary Pioneer founder Joshua Leland Evans. And today, President Mike Hefner carries on their tradition. From the Tom Brady card and memorabilia collection to the famed Boston Garden auction to high-end card auctions from every major sport, Lelands has always maintained the highest standards. Go to Lelands.com and get your bid in. That's Lelands, the hobby's leading sports auction house for 4 decades.
It's often been said that championships are won on the practice field, and world records come only to those willing to work harder than everybody else. Heritage Auctions is the world's largest collectibles auctioneer because we believe that becoming the best is only an invitation to the challenge of remaining the best. This requires the skills of the hobby's top experts, capable of identifying and maximizing value for our consigners. It requires the most visited website in the industry, courting a global audience of collectors over 1.5 million strong. It requires a dedicated press department that expands our global reach far beyond the entrenched hobby marketplace. It's hard work, but a simple premise. Present the finest collectibles to the largest population of potential buyers, and world records will come. We invite all listeners to put the unmatched power of Heritage Auctions to work for you. Auction evaluations are always free, and our commission-based fee structure ensures that our interests are always aligned. Highest possible price for your collectibles. There will always be new world records to chase, so let's chase them together. Visit our website at ha.com and request your no-obligation review today.
Hi, this is Dan from Memory Lane Auctions, here to remind you that the renowned Memory Lane Collectibles Company has served as a beacon of light to the collecting community for the past several decades. Indeed, folks, it has been our utmost privilege and pleasure to provide the most enthusiastic collectors with an abundance of the finest sports cards and memorabilia for America's most coveted sports personalities via our world-class auctions. Whether you choose either a private sale transaction or the auction route, Memory Lane cordially invites you to reach out to us to maximize the value of your prized possessions. Also, it is not just sales that we pride ourselves on being the best of the rest, because if you are seeking a particular keepsake for your esteemed gathering, We will be relentless in our quest to find that special piece to fulfill your collecting dreams. So no time to wait. Reach out to us today for the purposes of capitalizing on our unparalleled marketing capabilities. Simply pick up the phone and dial 877-606-5263. That's 877-606-LANE, or find us on the World Wide Web at www.memorylaneinc.com. Now is the time for your valued consignment to ultimately become another one of Memory Lane's record-setting prices.
Are you a collector looking for that rare trading card or autographed ball or photo? If so, then PB Collectibles in Newport is the place for you. PB Collectibles has graded cards, raw cards, complete sets, and wax boxes of the stars of the future, today, and from the past. We also offer a large selection of both vintage and modern cards. So whether you're looking to add to your collection or sell it, visit us at PB Collectibles, 269 Spring Street in Newport, located across from St. Mary's Church. We are your neighborhood card shop and much more.
Hey, I'm Mike Petroselli. If your company is looking for the best in marketing and promotional items, you'll hit a home run with Petroselli Marketing. With over 8,000 suppliers and 650,000 imprint-ready items, we can get your company the visibility it needs to get your maximum exposure. Whether it be office promotions, wearables, automotive, sports items, and everything in between, Petroselli Marketing can do it all. Our design staff will even work with you from concept to delivery and customize your products. At Petroselli Marketing Group, we will get your brand in front of your audience. Contact us at info@petrosellimkt.com or call us at 603-880-3202. That's Petroselli Marketing, where no dream is impossible.
Okay, we're back. Where's our man Doug? Not here?
Hey, Tom,
I'm here. Can you hear me?
While you're waiting for Doug?
Hey, Doug, how you doing, Doug? Hey, listen, no, before we
hear me
get
okay?
to Doug, before we get to Doug, I want to talk to you folks about insurance. I can't stress how important insurance is with your collectibles. Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency has been insuring collectibles since the early 80s. The late Tom Finkelmeyer wrote the original sports memorabilia insurance policy when no one else in the industry was insuring sports collectibles. A lifelong collector of sports cards, Tom Sr. instilled a love of collecting in Tom Jr., the current president of Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency. Tom Finkelmeyer Jr., with 3 decades of insurance experience, has paired that expertise with 50 years of collecting. With a litany of professional designations, including counseling and risk management, Tom covers every aspect of your collectible insurance needs. Unlike some of the companies that sell collectibles insurance directly to the consumer online, Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency is the only independent retail agent who specializes in sports memorabilia and collectibles nationwide, representing all major companies that sell collectibles insurance. There's no agent that insures more collectors, dealers, appraisers, auctioneers, or events in the collectibles hobby than Finkelmeyer Insurance. Our good friend and hobby legend, John Tobby of JT Sports, has been using Finkelmeyer Insurance for over 20 years. For more information, go to thefia.com, THEFIA.com. That's Finkelmeyer Insurance, where collecting is their passion. Doug, how important is insurance?
I used to work in life insurance for 17 years.
Okay.
So I know
What
the
about
importance of
collectibles
insurance in general.
How important is collectibles insurance to have?
I'm not the expert on it. I don't, but it's important. Insurance in general, health insurance. Car insurance.
Do you, when you have your shows, do you have to have insurance coverage?
It's actually a good question. At my 2 mall shows, I do, and not to break down the type of insurance, but it's like $1 million of general liability insurance.
Really?
We're not a high risk event like skydiving, so it doesn't cost much. But every single show, everything the mall shows, we have to, and the hotel shows, it's covered under the hotel's insurance.
So now, what do you have coming up?
This Sunday, it's interesting, you guys. I was watching most of the show. And interesting that you guys are talking about Pokemon. So I know this is more a sports show, but a little over a year ago, my card shows there were about 90% sports cards and about 10% Pokemon. And now it's almost a 50-50 split.
Wow, that's
We'll see how that may or
unbelievable.
may not change, but yeah.
Well, let me
And
ask you
this
this question then. Let me ask you this, since we talked about it. Do you see, are the two entities totally separate, or do you see some of the sports guys kind of gravitating towards Pokemon and vice versa? I mean, is there any cross pollination, I guess you can call it?
There's a little bit, not a lot. Of course, that could change down the road. But to answer your other question, this Sunday, we're doing something different that I don't know if other promoters are really doing it. We have two different card shows in one day at the same location. It's a Holiday Inn in Dedham, and the audience doesn't write anything down. Everything's on our website, cardboardpromotions.com. But we have our regular sports card show Sunday, regular hours 8:30 to 2, and then we got our Pokemon only show from starts at 4:15 and runs till 9:15 p.m.
Very
So
cool.
it sounds kind of hectic, but in that 2-hour time frame, we actually have all the sports card vendors pack up, and then the Pokemon vendors set up, and this will be the third such double. I call it's a double header, and it sounds challenging, but the first two have run pretty smoothly.
If my rheumatologist Brian Poole, who listens to the show quite often, he's a Pokemon freak, is listening. Brian, you got to get out there to this Pokemon show next week, because this guy he is a Pokemon hoarder. I call him a hoarder now. What else you got coming up, Doug?
Yeah, beyond this Sunday in Dedham, next Sunday at the Solomon Pond Mall in Marlboro, that's Sunday on March 8th. We got a sports card and Pokemon show. It's free admission. We're up to over 150 tables. We got a couple autograph guests: Hockey Hall of Famer Marcel Dion, former Patriot Patrick Pass, and former Bruin Steve Casper. He signed free autographs. And then the following weekend, it's March 14th and 15th, we have what's simply New England's biggest 2-day free admission card show. It's about 225 tables. Fairly even mix of sports cards and Pokemon, and that's at the Emerald Square Mall and in North Attleboro. Once again, the website's cardboardpromotions.com. Thank you.
Hey, when are you going to bring Petroselli in again? You got to get him Petroselli in again.
We will. He's on at least once a year schedule.
Oh, is he?
We actually had him at the Solomon Pond Mall sometime in the fall. So
the first time I told you this.
Is Rico in Florida right now? Is that why he's not?
Oh yeah, yeah. Or? Right now, as we speak, he's on the golf course with Joe Marino. As we speak.
Nice.
But I told you this. I've told you this before. The very, very first time I ever met Rico was at one of your shows. I think it was in Weymouth. It was a long time ago when the T206 book first came out. We were doing a book signing there. And then that evolved into getting him on the Sicilian Corner with Lou and I and Mike Lamazzo. And then the rest is history. It's been about 17, 18 years. So I've had a lot of fun with it. What else, Doug? Mom's doing okay, right?
Yeah. It was sorry I missed it last week, and then technical difficulties a couple weeks ago, but
not a problem.
I'm 100% now. My mom's doing better. Thank you for
Are
asking.
you going to be? You don't go to the National, huh? Are you going to be there just to make an appearance, to walk the floor?
I'd like to. It always ends up conflicting with one of my card shows, but I'm almost every week now.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't conflict, I'd like to get out there. I think it's Chicago or Cleveland this summer.
This year it's in Chicago. Next year it's in Chicago, and the year after it's in Detroit.
Yeah. Same with that Fanatics Fest they have in New York, which is a shorter ride. I'd like to get that out one of these years, but again, I usually have a card show the same weekend.
Well, the National is something to see once in a lifetime. How can people get in touch with you?
Yeah, the website's cardboardpromotions.com. Cardboard like baseball cards, and promotions because I promote.
What are your
just
thoughts?
Just stop by the show.
What are your thoughts on the Red Sox?
Holiday in Dedham.
What are your thoughts on the Red Sox?
I think they'll be competitive. I feel like I'm feeling more recovering from following more the Patriots and Celtics now, and then I'll follow the Red Sox a little more closely sign in a couple months.
I think they're going to be. I think they're going to be very competitive. I think they're going to have a good team. I still think, Lou. I think we've talked about this. I still think they're one bat away, but
they're at least one bat away. Yeah.
Right. I think so too. But I think they're gonna be okay. They really do need a quality second baseman. I think. But we'll see what happens. See how it all plays out. Al, what are your thoughts? We got about 2 minutes left.
Tom, what I wanted to do is this. I wanted to do a message to the Sicilian Americans in your hobby. As you know, we got devastated here by a Hurricane Harry, 3 weeks ago. They just destroyed Sicily, Sardinia, and Malta, and other places. Okay, I'd like you to ask you to go to our nonprofit website, www.thesicilianproject.com, www.thesicilianproject.com, and make a donation if you possibly can. We're a nonprofit. For every $100 we get, it all goes to people who are in trouble because of this unbelievable catastrophe.
It was a cyclone, wasn't it? Was it in a cyclone?
It was a cyclone, but they call it over here in Europe the hurricane. It was just unbelievable, Tom. My house got destroyed. The whole seaboard got destroyed. The Sicilian people are very resilient, and they're very prideful of taking help from anybody. So my Sicilian project has been around for now 15 years. We give free English classes to kids. We've trained over 2,000 kids to speak English, okay? But now we're kind of switching gears for the next few weeks. We've raised and distributed 35,000 so far, right into the hands of the needy. So please, if you have a chance, if you're of Italian extraction or Sicilian extraction, go to www.thesicilianproject.com. There's an icon there to make a donation. Just make a donation. It's tax deductible because we're a 501c3 entity, a nonprofit.
And that's good. That's good. I'm glad you brought that up. And if you're a Yankee fan and you have a DiMaggio card or something like that, or Phil Rizzuto card, and you don't have the dough, just send the card to Al, and Al can put it on Heritage Auctions, auction it off, and then the money will go to the Sicilian Project. Right, Al?
I have to say something, though. Getting back to Steve Lane, right?
We got about
1
minute.
Made a donation. Yeah, he made a donation because he came to this place last September. It was the guy fell in love with this place, and I'm hoping to see him back again.
Yeah,
so www.thesicilianproject.com. My website is www.YouMeAndSicily, and you can learn about what we do over here in Sicily.
All right, brother. Doug, it's been a pleasure. Nice talking to you, and we'll see you down the road. Hey, Al, we'll do it thanks, Al, thanks for jumping in today. Al, you actually sounded semi-intelligent, which I am very, very pleased about. Very, very pleased.
Hey, not bad for train wreck.
It wasn't. Louis, as always, man,
good
job today. To our viewers and listeners, Rico will be in the studio with us next week. And as we say every week, thank you all for your support. Without you guys, we would not be here. And with that being said, happy collecting.